Are you doing everything you can to protect yourself when selling your precious metals? How you doing, everybody? Stacking Stormtrooper. I hope you're doing well. If you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a guy in a bucket talking about precious metals, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, get the bell notification clicked, and that way you get updated with any new content. Also, it helps if you do hit the like button as well. Anyhow, what do these coins have in common with one another? You see a bunch of silver. You see some gold here. You got little 10th ounce bounties. You got a 10th ounce gold eagle. You have a 1/4 ounce gold eagle. You got this 1 ounce Scrooge McDuck, which I've shown recently in one of my videos. What do these all have in common? These are coins that I have purchased from private sellers, either through YouTube or Instagram. These coins are items that were sold to me directly through individuals that either have YouTube channels or Instagram channels. You know that I do a lot of selling of my own, whether it be through my YouTube auctions, Instagram profile, and my website, stackingstormtrooper.com. But when it comes to selling my items, there are some things that I do to protect myself, and I'm going to share these 9 things with you. And I'm not going to put these in any sort of rank or order. These are all things that I do to protect myself, and I highly recommend that you try to incorporate some of these strategies with your selling, so that way you protect yourself, and that way you are not sending your items off to some scammers. First thing that you can do is offer tracking for your items, and it's really not really so much something that you are doing for the purchaser of your items, so that way they leave you alone asking you, hey, do you have tracking on these particular items? It is something that you can do to keep track of the package or items that you have sent off as well. So I highly recommend that you definitely incorporate tracking with your shipments, because the items that are shipped are your responsibility until those items are marked as delivered. There are some people that say, oh, once it's in the mail, it's not my responsibility anymore. It is the responsibility of USPS. That is completely incorrect. You, as the sender, are responsible for these items until they reach the actual individual on the other end and it says delivered. After that, then it's off of your plate. It's not your responsibility. So, for example, if these items were sent to me and if it's marked as delivered, and let's say I still never received them, or it was marked delivered and somebody stole them out of my mailbox, guess what? It's not the sender's responsibility anymore. It's my issue to deal with. So as a sender, you want to have tracking. The second thing that you can do is take pictures of the items before you put them into the boxes and send them off. Now, this is a little bit tedious, but albeit in the beginning, especially with high cost packages, I recommend that you do this. So if you're sending off, let's say, some gold, I recommend that you do take pictures of these items just in case. Now, here's the problem. The USPS, they are not responsible for lost silver and gold bullion. There are policies that they have on their website that you should look. They are not responsible for bullion. So in a situation like this, like something like a Scrooge McDuck, you might want to consider putting this as collectible, or like this Iron Man coin, maybe mark it as a collectible, and there you might have a better shot at the insurance if this does go missing. But when it comes to just straight up bullion like gold eagles and silver eagles, things like that, you're kind of screwed if those items get lost. But you do want to take pictures of the items that you are sending just in case. And number 3, going along with that, is to write down what items were sent. I have extensive copies of everything in my spreadsheet, so I keep track that way. You do what's best for you. I recommend that you do have some sort of filing system or some system that allows you to see what you've sent and who you've sent it to. The other thing, 4th thing that you want to do is consider having a list of trusted users or buyers. Now, for me, for example, I do a lot of my sales on YouTube and some on Instagram. Some people buy from me on my website. And so that's kind of really cut and dry right there when they buy from my website. It's just they place the order, I fulfill it, I send it off, and that's it. But when it comes to a list, if you're not somebody that is often selling on YouTube or Instagram, you maybe want to just create like a list of these individuals who you are selling to, and then that way you can go back to them and say, hey, so-and-so stacker, I've got these Marvel coins, are you interested in buying them? And maybe they will buy them off of you. Going along with that, number 5 is create memberships. If you have a YouTube channel that's established, you can create memberships, and a lot of people have been doing this to pre-qualify the buyers. This keeps trolls out of your auctions or your flash sales or whatever it is that you are doing, and it gives you some level of certainty that they are a legitimate buyer and that they are going to be buying from your channel. This is something that I do. If anybody wants to participate in my auctions, they need to have a membership of $2 or higher, and that just kind of gives me a little peace of mind, keeps the riffraff out, keeps the trolls at bay. Every once in a while you will get a deadbeat buyer who does have a membership with you and they make a purchase and they still don't pay, but then you just block that individual. I also keep a list of blocked users or banned users from my sales, and I share this with a handful of other big auction channels, and we share that information. So if you screw up on one of those auctions, most likely you're going to be banned on the others. Now, the 6th thing that you can do is have somebody vouch for an individual. There have been times where I've been doing my sales, and every once in a while there's somebody that is brand new. They create a membership and they're just buying and winning and beating everybody out, and it kind of gets me a little sketched out, if you will. And so what happens is every once in a while there are people who recognize them and they vouch for them. They say, hey, Stacking Stormtrooper, I know so-and-so. They're always on, XYZ Stacker's channel. They're totally fine. Oftentimes it's my moderators who will let me know. And so I say, okay, if so-and-so is vouching for you, then no problem. Feel free to bid if you want to. So having somebody vouch for these buyers definitely helps. The 7th thing that you can try doing is having individuals prepay. This takes a certain level of trust on their behalf as well, because here they're just sending you money, prepaying for items that they are not buying, and they're going to keep a balance with you. I do have people who do this with me frequently. I just maintain a balance on their behalf, and they send me money in advance, and they just whittle that balance down. So that is a thing that you can possibly work out with those individuals. 8th thing that you can do is have these individuals pay for the items as they go. And when I say this, I mean, for example, there have been times on my auctions where all of a sudden somebody shows up and they're beating out some of the heavy duty, bidders who have a long established track record with me. And I'm like, okay, this is a little bit sketchy. Is this person for real? And sometimes I will ask them, okay, before you bid on any other items, I would like for you to send me some payments now on PayPal. And then that way I know that you are a legitimate buyer, and that works too. Sometimes a lot of those people will have no problem doing this, and they'll make a purchase and they'll say, Stacking Stormtrooper, did you see the payment went through? I'll quickly check. Yes, the payment's there. Okay, feel free to bid through the rest of the evening. I trust you now. That's something that you could do. The individual shouldn't have really any sort of issue if you just say to them, listen, you're new to the channel. I appreciate that you just signed up, but would you mind paying for this Charlie Brown round that you just won in the auction? That way I know that you are for real. And then the last thing that you can do, the 9th thing you can do, is meet people in person. If you are looking to sell your items and you don't have a YouTube or Instagram account or a Facebook account for that matter, you can definitely try to sell your things to people either Craigslist or on eBay close by and meet in person. Obviously, I recommend going somewhere that is a public place. Some towns, they do have a program in place where you can meet outside of the police department, and you could do your transactions there. Obviously, with the paying and meeting in person, or sorry, the selling in person, you could very well just go to a local coin shop and do this as well. This is something that I have done. I met up with C-Rod. Some of you know him. Met him. He's in Pennsylvania. I'm in New Jersey. We met up equidistant in a Walmart parking lot, and I paid him like $3,500, bought a bunch of items off of him, and it was totally fine. We were surrounded by people in a public place, so I would recommend doing that as well. Now, what are some things that you do as a seller to protect yourself? Definitely comment down below. Is there anything that I left off? Let me know. Let the rest of the community know. What are some of your strategies? And I just want to quickly thank these elite channel supporters, and if you haven't become a channel member, please check out the awesome perks and join today. With that, I'm the Stacking Stormtrooper. Check out these videos. Until next time, long live the Empire.